My husband said to me this morning, "Did you sleep okay?" I said, "Are you kidding me?" I thought about falling down the stairs coming up to the stage. I said, I'm a very shy person, and he said, "You get through this." So here we go. I didn't change a thing, Rupa. This is my life. So it's a tough story. Bear with me. 22 years ago, I made one of the most difficult decisions of my life. I decided to give up my 20-plus career as a sales and marketing executive at Eli Lilly to raise my children, and I don't regret it one bit. But at the time, I felt lost, and most importantly, I felt nervous that I was giving up on my family back home in Nigeria, giving up on the tremendous opportunity I had been gifted when I was just a child. I grew up in a small town in Nigeria called Enugu as one of 7 children in a three-room home. One particularly hot day, I was chosen by my mother among us 7 kids to meet a wealthy relative. And I was so excited, but the excitement was short-lived because I lost the bus fare my mother had given me. She told me to return home. I was 9 years old, but I knew how much my parents struggled to provide for a family of 9 ever since my father lost his business during the Biafra War. During the war, Igbos, my tribe, were targeted, and my father was lucky to have escaped death. Though impoverished, we were better off than many of the families that were killed during the Civil War. I sobbed, as I hope not to do today, and the thought of my mother's disappointment in me losing the bus fare made my sobs louder. I stood rooted to the spot, refusing to believe I had lost the opportunity to go with her. And then a stranger approached. My angel, I call her now. She quickly handed my mother the bus fare for me, and unbelievably, I was allowed to continue my journey on that pivotal day. When one gives, one can never know the world of difference the kindness of a stranger can make. That day, I met my uncle and his wife for the first time. They were moving to America. My uncle decided then and there to take me with them. He was a physician, and we were moving to Chicago. My life had taken a drastic turn from living in a small village, walking miles to school, to a life in America where I was being driven to school, and I had a desk and my own room. It was a new adventure with many advantages. Despite the advantages, there were challenges. I was bullied for being different, for talking different, for looking different. It made me sad, but I thrived and took full advantage of this American dream. At every opportunity, I financially helped my siblings back in Nigeria, but it wasn't enough. I wanted to make right on the opportunity I had been given. I wanted to make right on the kindness of that stranger at the bus stop on that fateful day. If not for her, my journey would not have taken me to America and a life of privilege and fulfillment that transformed my life. I decided to use this new phase of my life after giving up my corporate job to commit myself to volunteerism. The decision has led me to now where I have served on the boards of about a dozen organizations in Richmond. How did I choose? Well, as Abraham Lincoln once said, to ease another's heartache is to forget one's own. Just to name a few, I chose to volunteer at the American Heart Association because my parents had heart-related deaths. I chose to volunteer at the Massey Comprehensive Cancer Center because Rupa News and probably tissue that two of my siblings died of cancer within 9 months of each other. I chose to volunteer at the YWCA because I witnessed the experience of a very dear friend who was being abused. We were both too young and scared to ask for help, so we kept quiet. And she suffered in silence, and I suffered watching her. Now I can help. My heart is deeply rooted in contributing as much as I can to the YWCA. I want to help stop as many women as possible from suffering in silence and to heal and rebuild their lives instead. I'm committed to leveraging my network to help all of these incredible organizations in Richmond achieve their mission. One of my current missions is centered around my Nigerian roots. I'm starting a clothing business that's selling, among other things, clothing made by my sister and other items from my motherland. In fact, the dress I'm wearing today was made by my sister, who's a talented designer and seamstress. A portion of the profits from the clothing line will go towards expanding clean water systems in remote villages outside of Enugu, where I was born. I'm grateful to my husband, who runs a multi-generational physician practice, my 2 wonderful daughters whom are here today, and 3 bonus children. They have allowed me to give my time and energy over the years to these incredible organizations. They have encouraged me to pursue my ultimate purpose, which is to serve others. It has been such an honor to be counted among the amazing and outstanding women being recognized today. I leave you with these words of Nelson Mandela, quote, "We can change the world and make it a better place. It is in your hands to make a difference," end of quote. It is my hope that all that I give as a stranger can be as impactful to another individual's life as the bus fare, that angel, remember? The bus fare from a stranger was phenomenally impactful to mine. I thank you all.